Good day, folks. Welcome to the third episode of ServiceDesk Plus MSP Masterclass 2024. In today's episode, we'll talk about how you can streamline your ITSM practices with the help of ServiceDesk Plus MSP. Now, I'm Aditya, and I'm a product expert with ServiceDesk Plus MSP, and I'm the presenter for today's session. Now, in the previous sessions, we saw how you could set up your ServiceDesk Plus MSP instance and how you could utilize the MSP, the various PSA features that are available within the ServiceDesk Plus MSP application. And in case you have missed those features, in case you have missed those two episodes, feel free to go to the registration page, and what you can if you scroll down a little, you'll find the two episodes, the recording of the two episodes listed over there. With that out of the way, let's dive into the agenda for today's session. So in today's session, first up, we'll take up the incident management and problem management practices. So where we'll see how you'll be able to resolve the IT disruptions quickly and restore normal operations for your customers, and even how you'll be able to identify the root causes. Next, we'll check out how you'll be able to curate IT services and deliver them through an IT service catalog. And then we'll check out how you'll be able to streamline and minimize the disruptions and risk with the help of during the change implementations. And finally, we'll see how you'll be able to manage and track your end users, your customers' end users' IT assets with the help of ServiceDesk Plus MSP application. Right. So the first item for today's agenda is resolving IT service disruptions quickly. So let's dive into the product and see how, with the help of ServiceDesk Plus MSP application, you'll be able to quickly identify and resolve incidents to minimize the service disruptions. So now I've logged in as a technician. So as a technician, I have access to different types of modules based on my particular role. So if I have as the admin role, I have the access to all the different modules that are available in the ServiceDesk Plus MSP application, right? And on the top left, I can check out my view, where I can check out different items related, such as request overdue, total requests that are due today, the pending requests for today, and so on. Right? I can further also check out all my pending approvals, and on the right, I can check out the tasks that are assigned to me and announcements that are available for the organization. Right? And now, so the first challenge we have is identifying the incidents and dealing with them, right? So resolving them effectively. So in order to do that, the first and foremost, we'll need to see how your end users are reporting the IT incidents, right? So what are the different channels through which your end users can reach out to you, or what are the different ways you can create tickets in ServiceDesk Plus MSP application, right? So as a technician, I can simply go to the request module, and under request module, when I click on this plus option, I'll be able to create a ticket, right? And I can also choose from the different templates that are available to me right over here. And there are different field values that are available over here, such as request type, impact, urgency, and priority, and so on, right? So all these different field parameters, I'll be able to provide information for all these, and I'll be able to select the right template for for the incident that I want to report, and I can create a ticket which will be listed in the request list view. Now, this is for a technician, but what if an end user wants to log in a ticket? So as an end user, I get an access to the self-service portal. So now this is a self-service portal that an end user can access. As an end user, I can check out, I can report an issue, I can request for a service, or I can check out the existing knowledge base to resolve the small issues, IT issues that I face in the day-to-day work, right? So we are talking about reporting incidents at the moment. So I can click on this option and report an issue right away, right? So here I'm greeted with a incident catalog, which is neat and cleanly organized and categorized. So under each of these incident categories, I can find, when I click on this option, I can find that there are a number of incident templates that are listed over here. So based on the template that's relevant to me, I can simply select that and I can create a ticket, right? So for instance, I'm facing an application crash issue. So I can simply click on this option, and I can provide the correct the details about the issue that I'm facing. For instance, I'm facing an application crash issue in a billing software, which so and if the issue is in the billing software, I could end up losing a lot of business if it is not fixed immediately or soon. So I can mark the impact as high and urgency as high, since it's a very high priority issue, right? So as you can see, the priority field has automatically been populated. And further, you can see that because I've used a template, the subject line has already been filled. And with that, with a simple uh, information gathering template, I can simply click on submit request and report an incident. So the moment I report the incident, I'll be arriving to the ticket window where I can check out the different details related to my ticket, and once the resolution is provided, I'll be able to check out the resolution in this tab. Right. So as an end user, I have another way. I have two more ways I can log a ticket, right? So one other way is Zia. So Zia is our homegrown AI chatbot, which you can utilize to raise a ticket, right? So as an end user, I can simply click on raise a ticket option. I can choose the right template, and once I choose the right template, I can simply select that and provide the subject and description. And if I want to add more details, I can do that right over here. And once I've provided the details, I can click on add request. And once I do that, my request would appear in the request list view for the technicians to deal with, right? So these are the two. And what's the one last way that we are left with? Well, that's simply a direct phone call, right? So as an end user, if none of the ways are working for me, say if I'm logged out of my system, so I can directly reach out to the technician and ask them to create a ticket on my behalf. So that way, so these are the multiple channels through which you can an incident can be reported, right? So now, while creating an incident ticket, we saw the incident catalog appear over here, right? So how do you customize this incident catalog to showcase all the different types of incident to allow your end users to select the different templates based on the incident that they're facing? So that can be possible with the help of in the admin section. So under the admin section, we have something called templates and forms. So under templates and forms, we have an option called incident template. So when I click on incident template, I arrive at this page, right? So here, all the different types of incident templates are listed over here. So if I want to create a new template, I can simply click on the new template option, provide the name and description, select the account for which this template is applicable for, and I can now see that there's a neat and clean drag and drop canvas available to me, where it's divided into the two types, right? So first up is a section, right? And the other is the different fields that are available over here. So if I want to add a new field, I can choose from the pre-existing the available fields, or I can also choose to create a new field, right? So when I click on that option, I can also choose to create different types of sections, like a double column, a three column, and so on. And I can choose to create different types of fields, right? The single line, multi-line text field, a numeric field, a decimal field, and even a date and time field, right? So that way, I'll be able to customize my request template accordingly and based on the type of information I want to collect for a particular incident, right? So that way I'll be able to gather all the right information right at the incident creation time. So that saves me a lot of time in order to gather the right information, right? So all the information would be available right away. And once I have customized this template, I can click on save, and I can make this template available to the end users, to the requesters, if I click on the show requester option, right? But if I just want to show it to a specific technician group or support group, I can choose to do that as well, right? So I can simply select a group and drag it over here. So once I've selected the group or the audience that are relevant for this template, I can choose to even enable this to a specific user group alone, right? So user groups are essentially a certain types of users in the different types of client organization of your customer organization that are grouped together, and you can directly make this a template available to that set of user groups, right? And once you've selected the right audience, you can click on save. So once you click on save, your template would be created. And what other customization options are available? Let me quickly show through an existing template. So I've opened the application crashes frequently template, and here you can see that there's something called technician and requester view. So in the technician view, we customize all the different types of fields that are available to a technician to fill in the information related to an incident. But your requesters do not need to know all these information, right? As a requester, I only need to report the items that I can report. So I can provide an impact and urgency, but I cannot select, I cannot select the priority of a ticket, right? So I can choose to remove this field from here as well. So based on this, you'll be able to customize what fields appear in your requesters end as well, right? So the fields that you select over here would then be available to your requesters via the incident templates. And furthermore, you can also customize the workflow for this incident template, right? So you can associate a request lifecycle over here. We'll discuss the request lifecycle in a few minutes. Then you can also configure the approvals here. So you can choose to select all the approvers or any one of the approver that you want to allow to approve. And once you've selected the approval action over here, you can also select the checklist. So say you want to ensure that this incident is dealt with in the right manner, and all the necessary steps are taken to ensure that the incident is sequentially done. Then furthermore, you can also associate the task related to this incident over here. Now, once you customize the entire workflow, now we can move forward to the field and form rules section, right? So the field and form rules section is a very interesting one. So in the field and form rules, you'll be able to design certain dynamic actions, customize certain dynamic actions that would take place on a ticket, right? So based on the three different phases of a ticket, you'll be able to customize these actions. So whether on form load, on a field change, or on a form submit, right? So as we were talking about creating a ticket, let me quickly open up a template. So as an end user, I don't, as a technician, as the IT admin, you don't want your end users to provide the priority of a ticket, right? So you want to hide this field. So what you can do is on form load, you can create a rule where you can select, you can provide the rule name. For instance, you want to hide the priority. So let's name it as that. So you want to hide the priority, and it applies for all the requesters. So you can select that option. Now, when do you want to execute this rule? You want to create it on the creation of the ticket, right? And on the form load. So the moment the form is loaded, you want to hide the priority field. So this is where we provide the condition, and you can we can perform a action. Now you can choose to provide a condition, or you can simply execute an action. So what are the different actions available to you? Well, you can enable certain fields, disable certain fields, show or hide, mandate or non-mandate, and remove, add, and even you can set certain fields before even the user inputs the values, right? So that way, and finally, you can also choose to execute a script while a particular ticket has been create when an end user starts creating a particular ticket. So all these different types of actions can be performed with the help, dynamic actions can be performed with the help of the field and form rules, right? And once you've created the different sets of rules based on the type of dynamic actions that you require in your incident templates, you'll be able to present your customers with a very dynamic ticket template that to ensure that your end users are able to provide you the necessary information quickly and in a streamlined manner, right? So with that, you'll be able to create the different types of incident template. Now, how do you customize your incident catalog? So we click on the incident catalog option, and you can customize in the customization section, and this is where you can customize this layout, right? So you can choose to reorder it. So if you want to, if there's a particular type of incident category which is more used by your end users, so you can choose to select that, right? So you can, let's say you want to a lot of users face software related issues, so you can put that category on top, and similarly you can make a lot of different changes over here, the reorder changes, right? And then you can also so you can also make these changes for the service categories as well, not just incident categories. Now, what are service categories? We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Right. So we saw how you can create an incident catalog. Now, for all the incident requests, we can utilize the incident catalog on the requester's end, and you can allow the end users to create tickets, to create a report a incident, right? But what do you do when an end user wants to request service? Well, we'll get to the service request management in a few minutes, right? So now that we saw how you could create an incident template, and how you could allow your end users to log a ticket, and say your end users already logged the ticket, so it would appear in the request list view. Once you click on the request list view option, a particular ticket, as a technician, you'd be able to check out the different details that are associated with this ticket, right? And as a technician, you'll also be able to provide resolution to this ticket. You'll be able to create different tasks and associate over here for this ticket, and you can check out the checklists that are associated to this ticket. Furthermore, as a technician, when you perform certain tasks, you would be essentially making a lot of efforts for this ticket. So all these efforts can be logged in the work log section over here, and you can check out how much time has been lapsed and all the time analysis details in the time analysis tab, right? And on the right side, you can get a quick overview related to your ticket, and in the bottom, you can also associate a problem, associate a change ticket, or associate a project to this incident ticket, right? So let's say that the issue that this particular customer end user has reported is actually happening due to a root cause, due to another issue, right? Due to a major issue. So how do you ensure that you can find out this root cause and quickly deal with this problem? So for that, you can simply choose to create a problem ticket right from here, or you can choose, if you've already created a problem ticket, you can search and associate it over here, right? So once you associate a problem ticket, you can go to the problems tab, and this is where you'll be able to check out the different problems, right? So this is where you'll be able to find your problem ticket. So once the problem ticket is created, you can provide problem details, and under the analysis tab, you can perform your analysis and find out the impact details and note down the symptoms that are causing this issue. And based on the symptoms and impact details, you'll be able to find out the root cause because of which this issue was happening. Right? And once you've identified the root cause, you'll be able to provide a workaround or a solution to this issue, right? And once you've provided the workaround or solution to this, you'll also be able to associate certain tasks or that you need to perform in order to deal with the root cause, and the different work logs or the different efforts your technician put in order to find the root cause, right? And in the associations tab, you'll be able to find out the particular request that is associated with this problem, right? And once this problem is solved, you'll be able to provide a resolution to your incident, to the different incident tickets, right? So here, under the resolution, you'll be able to resolve it. Now, all this process, it seems to be happening on a fly, right? So How do you ensure that your technicians are following a set operating, a systematic operating procedure to deal with the different types of incidents that come to their way, right? So on the right side, you can see an option called next transition. So what is this, right? I have two buttons available to me, and say if I click on the assign option, what happens? So when I click on this option, a prompt comes in which asks me to provide technician details, the group details, and site details for this ticket, right? So it's basically asking me to associate this ticket to a particular technician group, a support group, or it's asking me to assign a technician. Now that field is a mandatory one. So I have to provide a technician information over here. Now, once I've provided the relevant information and once I update this option, you can see that the ticket has been moved to an assigned status, right? So it's moved from open to assigned status, and and the technician is also assigned over here. Now, what I can do is I can now as a technician I've been assigned this ticket, so I can start working on this ticket. Now, the moment I click on start working on this ticket, it provides me the next two transitions as well. So say I worked on this ticket, but I want to receive more information from the end user, I can click on hold, right? And once I click on hold, or I can click on resolve. So say I've resolved this ticket, we did all the problem analysis, root cause analysis, and found the issue, and now I'm ready to provide resolution. So I can click on resolve, and I'm greeted with this option where I have to provide the closure code, and after that only I'll be able to close this ticket or resolve this ticket, right? So as you can, if you would have noticed, we are following a set guided path, and we're dealing with the ticket, with this incident ticket systematically. Now, how do you ensure all your technicians follow the similar path? Well, we do that in ServiceDesk Plus MSP with the help of the request lifecycle feature. So request lifecycle feature is a visual drag and drop lifecycle builder, which can be found under admin under automation section. So once I click on request lifecycle, I can check out the different request lifecycles that are created for different types of incidents, right? So say I'm talking about the application crash issues, or so application crash issues. So here I have the option to provide the lifecycle name and details, and I can choose to associate it to a particular template as well, right? So the moment I provide these information, I can check out this neat and clean canvas where white and green boxes are available. So, and on the right side, we have available statuses, right? So these, what are statuses first of all? So statuses are all these white boxes that you see over here that the ticket passes through in order to reach to the resolution stage, right? So the ticket starts from an open stage, and once it's assigned to a technician, it moves to the assigned status, and once it's in progress, it moves to the in progress status, and so on. So all these statuses can simply be dragged and dropped and can be added over here. And based on the necessary association, you can choose to move the ticket to a different status with the help of these arrows, right? And between these arrows, if you notice, there's a plus option. So this is what allows me to create a transition, right? So now what's a transition? So let me quickly show you what's a transition. Now, all these green buttons that you see are the transitions. So when I click on this option, I can see that there are two options available to me as during and after. And when I click on this one, I can see that I have before, during, and after option available to me. Now, in the open state, when the ticket has just arrived, you can't perform any actions before that, right? So you can only perform the actions during and after in the open state. But once the ticket has moved to a next status, you can choose to perform a before, during, and after options. So what happens in the before? So in the before option, you can choose to restrict this particular ticket to a select group of technicians, right? So the ticket owner or the particular group, only those people would be able to see these transition options. So you can ensure that no other technician can touch this ticket, and no other technician can move this ticket status to any other status. right? So that way you can ensure that the ticket is being dealt with appropriately. Then in the during stage, you can you can mandate certain fields, and you can even provide certain optional fields. Just how we saw, we got the technician assignment field, right? So, and further, I can choose to execute a rule which can be based on a certain criteria, right? So in order to, and what types of rules are we creating? Let me quickly show you. So first you provide the rule name, description, select when you want to execute this rule, and the condition that you want to satisfy. You can either choose to apply a condition or choose to apply no conditions as well, right? So the conditions can be only based on the different field parameters, request field parameters that are available to you, right? And the moment you have selected the right condition, you can choose to perform certain actions, like a custom function can be run. You can also choose to perform a field update, and you can even choose to execute a script, right? And furthermore, say if the ticket cannot proceed further, you can also choose to abort the process execution and provide a reason why why you can't proceed further with this incident ticket, right? So that way, on each and every transition, you'll be able to create a different types of types of actions and mandate certain fields. And in the after transition state, you can click on new rule, and you can also perform similar actions. But we also have an option here to create a webhook, and you can also choose to notify create to utilize the notification action. Now with notification action, you can choose to keep your stakeholders notified during the movement of a ticket from a status to another status, right? So that way, your all the different stakeholders that are associated to this incident ticket would know exactly what's happening on each and every stage of the ticket resolution, right? So that way, you'll be able to effectively deal with all the incidents that are coming to your services application, and you'll be able to deal with them effectively, right? So next up, we have setting up a powerful request fulfillment engine. Now, this is setting up this request fulfillment engine is very easy. Let me quickly show you how you can do that. So we go to the admin section, and under admin section, I have an option called service catalog, right? So just how we saw an incident catalog over here, if I want to request a service as an end user, I can click on this request a service option, and I'll be greeted with a service catalog. Now, just like incident catalog, I can also create the service catalog, right? But to create a service catalog, I need to define these different service categories that are listed over here, right? So these service categories can be created in the service categories section. And once I've created the service category, I can create the different templates under each of these categories, right? For instance, if I want to create an employee administration related template, so I can click on this option and click on add service. And once I click on add service, it's almost exactly same as how you created the incident templates, right? So once I've provided all the necessary details, and I can also, here you can see an option called resource info, right? So let me quickly show you with an existing template how you can utilize this option. So when I go to the employee onboarding template that I've already created, I can see that the number of accounts that it's associated with, and the different fields that I've already created for this template, right? So the technician view is same as what we created for the incident template. You can simply drag and drop fields or create a new field or new section and gather the right details. Now we also have an option called resource sections, right? So this resource section allows me to provide a shopping cart like experience when I'm creating a ticket, right? So for instance, a requester wants to choose a desktop. So I can choose to provide this resource section field. You can make this resource section field available within the request template. So the end user would be able to select the type of product they want to avail, right? And that way you'll have multiple questions that you can add as a resource question, and allow your requesters to request the right service that they want to avail, right? And once you've enabled that option, once you have customized these fields for requesters as well, you'll be able to move to the workflow section. So now this workflow section is what's interesting here, right? So you can choose to provide multiple levels of approvals over here, so that you can ensure that the right service is made available to the end user. You can choose to assign different types of SLA based on the urgency of the service request, and you can similar to incident template. You can also choose to associate a checklist, that the list of items that are need to be ticked in order to ensure a streamlined service delivery. And you can also choose to create different tasks associated to this service delivery, right? And that way you'll be able to customize the complete workflow for this incident template within the incident template. Then finally, you can also create field and form rules to ensure that you provide a dynamic ticketing experience to your end users with the help of the field and form rules, right? And once you've done that, you'll be able to you'll be able to showcase all the necessary, all the services that are available to each and every single of your customer accounts, and you'll be able to allow them to create service requests, right? And so with that, we move to the next segment of today's presentation, which is carrying out minimal risk changes, right? So let's see how you'll be able to set up essential configurations of change enablement, and you'll be able to provide a minimized disruptions while providing a change, right? So let's go to the change module. Now, once we were talking about a problem ticket over here, right? So let me do a little recap. We were facing the application crash issues, and we created a problem ticket for that and found out the root cause in the analysis section. So once the root cause was found, we found out that there was a software bug in the application, right? So now we need to resolve this software bug by providing a latest version. Now we want to resolve the issue of frequent application crash. So we created a change ticket for that in order to provide the latest version to the end users. So how do we perform this large scale change for an entire customer organization, right? So for that, you can utilize the change management module, where you can capture your entire process for this change, right from the submission to the closure, right from submission then to planning. You can plan your entire change enablement process. Then you can even choose to include a cab so that you can get the change approved. Then further you can move to implementation stage, and user acceptance testing can be done, where you can add the different user acceptance test plans and the issues which you would face while during the change implementation. And once the change is ready to be implemented, you can choose to release it with the help of our release module as well, right? So these release module can be directly associated over here. Once you click on this option, you'll be able to check out the different associations. So here you'll be able to find the release option, right? So the release ticket that is associated to this change. And the moment you go to this release ticket, you'll be able to check out that all the necessary details that have been already captured from the change ticket. Now, let me quickly get back to the change ticket that we were on, right? So once we have successfully enabled the change, you can even provide the review for this change and close it, right? With the closure code, whether if it was a successful completion, or it was rejected, or what happened finally to this change ticket, right? So let's get back to the submission state. Now, in the submission state, you can check out the different details that you captured while you were creating the ticket, right? Now here, you can also choose to determine the schedule from the start and end time for executing this change. Furthermore, you can also choose to bring in the add the different tasks that are need to be performed in order to execute this change, in order to provide this change, right? And you can also add your different notes and check the status comments. Now, once you move from submission to planning stage, you will be able to capture all the necessary information, such as impact details, rollout plans, backout plans, and even you can note down your checklist in order to ensure a successful change implementation, right? The entire change implementation process can be captured over here. And then you move to the CAB evaluation. Now, what's the CAB evaluation? So CAB evaluation is nothing but change advisory board, which will evaluate whether this change can be moved forward or not. So where do you configure this CAB, right? So let me quickly show you. So we can go to the admin panel, and under admin panel, we have a customization section where you can click on change management, and uh, uh, you can configure certain items that are specifically related to the change management module, right? Such as the different types of changes. So whether it's a major or minor incident, or a standard incident, and the different types of risks. So could be involved with a particular type of change, the reason for change. So you can capture all the different types of changes, the reasons that for which you might have to do a change, and this is where the change advisory board comes in, right? So this is where you form a team of a group of people who would evaluate this particular change and then approve or reject it, right? So this is where I can provide the name, the description, and choose to bring in the different members over here, right? And if you want to add more members to it, you can click on add member, select from the available list of members, and your members would be added to this list. Once you click on save, your CAB is ready to approve your changes, right? So now say your CAB has approved this change, and you move to the implementation stage. Now in the implementation stage, you can take two ways, right? So you can directly implement with the help of a project, or you can choose to utilize the release module to ensure that the deployment is done in a streamlined manner, right? So this is where you go to the release ticket and create and then jot down all your deployment plans as well, right? So it's very similar to the change. It has multiple stages involved, and similar to the changes, the releases also has a workflow that you can create, right? So let me quickly get back to the changes and show you how change workflows can be customized. Now, we saw a few minutes ago, we saw how you can create a request lifecycle, right? So you can traverse in a standard operating procedure for a request resolution. In a similar way, we have an option called workflow, where you can configure the different stages through which a change ticket would pass, and the right approvals and the right path that it can take can be customized in the workflow itself. Now let me quickly show you how you can create a change workflow. So in order to create a change workflow, you can go to the automation section. Under automation, you can find an option called workflows. Under workflows, you'll be able to you'll be able to create new workflows, right? So for instance, let me quickly go to an existing workflow and create it, right? So now this change is for this workflow is for a medium change workflow. So here I have already configured 5 or 6 stages. Now say if I want to add another stage, I can choose to simply drag and drop this option and select from the available stages, right? So if I want to add a release stage as well to this particular workflow, I can select this option, and I can select the different statuses that I want to be made available for this stage, right? So what will happen is this change ticket would follow this workflow. So once it starts and once the submission stage is accepted, you can move it to the plan stage, where you can request for certain information with a notification, right? And how can you customize this notification? You can simply drag and drop this notification option and create a notification over here. You can also choose to utilize this notification to keep your stakeholder informed during the change, different stages of the change enablement. Furthermore, you can utilize the different conditions to ensure that a certain criterias are met and the change is moving in the right direction. Then, in order to ensure the further fine-tune the direction, you can also choose to utilize a switch option, right? So based on different types of change field categories, change field options, let's say if you want to switch this to a different stage based on the priority, so you can select the different priorities based on which you want to switch this change workflow, right? So let's say I've selected these priorities. So say if it's a critical incident, I don't want to wait for the cab to approve it. I directly want to go to the release stage, right? So I can choose to do that by simply dragging and dropping this option to this point, right? And furthermore, from here, once the change is, once the release is completed, I can go ahead and join it to the review stage directly, right? So here I can put it as in progress. So that way I'll be able to guide the change ticket in the right direction based on the different field changes that I would do in the change ticket. Then finally, I can also set up, I can also make a field change, a field update as well as the change moves in the the right direction. So say if I want to change a particular field in the ticket, I can select it from here and make the field update, right? So that way you can ensure that you can your change ticket goes through a streamlined manner and the changes are effectively enabled with minimal risks for the for your client organizations, right? So that way you'll be able to carry out minimal risk changes. And finally, we come to the IT asset management part, right? So how you can build a robust IT asset management process and how you'll be able to create a complete hardware and software inventory of all your clients' IT assets and get the overview of your client's IT infrastructure. So now I'm back in the technician login, right? Let me quickly close all these tabs and move to the assets tab, right? So here, now what do we need to do first in order to create an IT asset inventory, right? So first you need to scan all the IT assets that are available in your customer's organization. In order to do that, we need to go to the admin section. Once we go to the admin section, we can check out the different discovery methods that are available to us. So we have an option called Windows Domain Scan, we have an option called Network Scan, and we have an option called Distributed Asset Scan. So let's start with the Windows Domain Scan. So Windows Domain Scan would essentially scan all the different IT assets that are available in the customer's domain, right? So different domains can be captured over here, and you can scan all the Windows IT assets with the help of the Windows Domain Scan. Then we have Network Scan. So here you can perform a network scan and check out all the different Windows, Linux, Mac, and so on workstation or servers that are available in a particular network, right? And you can also, and not just the workstation, but you can also find out the different printers, routers, and switches and other IT assets as well with the help of a network scan. Then further, you can choose to utilize the distributed asset scan. Now, this one in particular is a very useful scan option for the managed service providers. As a managed service provider, your customer organizations are available in different parts of the world, right? So if they're spread geographically, you won't be able to go into each of these clients' network directly and scan their IT assets, right? So this is where the distributed asset scan comes into picture. So you can choose to utilize our AE agent, Asset Explorer agent, with the help of, and you can install it to your client's server. And with the help of this Asset Explorer agent, you'll be able to scan all the different IT assets that are available in their environment. And you can, with the help of that, you'll be able to import all of those IT asset information to your ServiceDesk Plus application, ServiceDesk Plus MSP application with the help of the import option, right? So once the distributed asset scan is performed, you would have the complete information of the IT asset inventory, that's IT assets that are available in your different account that you're providing services to, right? So once you have scanned all the IT assets, you'll be able to find them neatly categorized in this assets tab. So now we move on to the IT assets. So here we can check out the different types of IT assets such as servers, workstations, smartphones, storage devices, and so on that are available to us. So these are all the different types of workstations that have been found via either a scan or via manual addition, right? So you can also import these asset details via a CSV file, or furthermore, you can even generate a barcode and add new assets. So how can you do that? How can you utilize the barcode scan option? Well, let me quickly show you. So in the barcode generation option, so here you can either utilize your vendor's barcode on the IT asset, and say if the barcode is not available, you can even choose to create your own barcode and print it and stick it to the IT asset and scan it after that. And once you perform and provide the barcode and label properties, label details, you can also choose to provide a prefix or suffix. So all the barcode information can be captured over here and you can print it. So once you print the barcode, you'll be able to provide, add it to your different IT asset and scan the IT asset and bring it to your ServiceDesk Plus MSP application. Now, let's say that I'm checking out, let's check out how you can manage the different hardware in your organization, right? So let me open a workstation. So I found this workstation, I've scanned this workstation and I found the different asset details that are available to me. So under the hardware section, I can see I can see all the hardware information that are associated to this particular workstation. So this workstation, the type of processor that's there, the memory modules, the different network adapters, the hard disks, the logical drives information, physical drives information, the types of mouse that are associated to this workstation, the monitor, USB controller, and all the other IT asset information that are associated with this workstation are captured directly over here, right? So you can see how in depth it can form the scan, right? So all the different hardware details are captured over here. In the software tab, you can check out the different the software that are installed or are associated with this particular workstation, right? And in the further, you can also check out the different user accounts that are available in this workstation, the different relationships, right? So how many peripherals, how many different types of IT assets this particular CIs, this particular workstation is connected to. And this relationship map is essentially fetched over here with the help of our CMDB module, right? So you can utilize our CMDB module to capture all the CI relationships, and that will appear over here for each of the IT asset. And you can further also check out the different software contracts, different financial details, and further, you can also choose to provide the depreciation details for each of your IT asset. Right? In order to configure a depreciation detail, you can provide the purchase cost, you can provide the acquisition date, and you can configure the type of depreciation that you want to perform for this product. Right? So for this asset, you can choose to select a particular depreciation method. So you can choose to choose from the 4 different depreciation methods that are available over here. And once you do that, you'll be able to check out the total lifetime value that is available, the remaining life that's available for your particular IT assets, right? So that way you'll be able to capture all the necessary information and about all the different IT assets that are available in your client's IT infrastructure. Further, you can also ensure that your IT assets are what state your different IT assets are in, right? So whether they are in store, whether they are in use, whether they are in repair, expired, disposed, right? So throughout the entire life cycle, you can capture the complete life cycle of your different IT assets with the help of the asset state option, right? And with that, you'll be able to ensure that you can perform end-to-end your hardware management of your different IT hardware, different hardware available in your customer accounts, right? And further, you can also check out the different virtual hosts that are available over here. Different non-IT assets can also be logged into this IT asset management module. Further, you can also log in the different keyboard, different types of asset components, and further, you can check out the software section where all the software information that was found during the scan, during the different asset scans that we perform. So all the different software that are being utilized in your client's IT infrastructure are listed over here, right? So each of these software, you can click on this and view the software details. You can further also check out the how many machines, how many workstation it's installed in, and you can even check the software history, right? Now, once you've checked out all the different details related to the different scanned software, you can also check out the software summary. And in this dashboard, you can find out how compliant you are, right? So here it says I'm completely compliant, but in your case, it might not be the same because you would have a lot of IT assets to manage, and certain IT assets would be either under license or over license as well, right? So I can manage all that, and you can check out all these information and take necessary actions as and when required. On the right side, you can also check out the total number of software that was scanned, the total number of assets that are the software that are being managed, the total assets that are prohibited but still installed in your client's IT environment, and total number of unidentified assets as well. So, and further, you can also check out the details like unused license, well-used licenses, and license agreement expiry. So based on this information, you'll be able to take call whether you do actually need certain IT assets, and ensure that you can optimize the IT asset costs, IT costs for your different clients as well. Then further, you can capture all the license agreements related to each of these software over here by simply clicking on add new options. You can capture the manufacturer information, agreement number, from when to when this particular agreement is applicable. And further, you can also choose to add or associate the different software licenses that are available with your organization. And once you've configured all that, you can also choose to provide the agreement expiry notification to the relevant stakeholder, so that they'll be notified when a particular software agreement is about to expire, right? And all the different software licenses can be captured under the software licenses tab. And this is where you'll be able to see the different licenses that are available for your organization, right? So how many licenses have you purchased, how many are allocated already, and how many are available for you, and the different license keys and the types of the different licenses for each of your software, right? So that way you'll be able to effectively manage all your hardware, all the different types of hardware and software IT assets in your client's IT infrastructure. Further, with the help of this IT asset management module, you can also allow your end users to book certain IT assets, right? And you can also choose to loan certain IT assets to your end users based on their requirement. Now, what's asset booking? So say let me quickly click on all accounts. Yeah. So let's say I want I want to book a new asset. For instance, a workstation. I want to for temporary acquire a new workstation or a server. I can simply click on that option and select the dates from which particular date I want to access this workstation. And once I have selected the information and I've selected the purpose of this asset booking, I click on the book option, right? So once I click on the book, I'll be able to check out the booking that's been done at the moment, right? So you can see who booked this IT asset and the present status of this booking. And further, you can also provide certain booking related settings, such as you can customize different types of products. You can provide different types of. You can ensure that for how many days you want to allow an asset to be booked, and if you can also choose to provide the number of days before which the advanced booking can be done for a particular IT asset, and the purpose. So different types of purposes can also be captured, right? So for instance, I've added testing here, but say if you want to if you want to allow IT assets for certain events, you can choose to do that as well. right? And once the booking is done, you'll be able to see the booking in the booking section. So here you can check out the booking related information. And here, if you select an IT asset, select the IT asset, you can choose to loan it as well, right? And we can also choose to mark it as ready for pickup. So the person who has booked this IT asset can come and pick up this IT asset from you as well, right? And under the in order to manage the different assets that are being loaned, you can check out the loan registry. So this is where you can capture all the, you can find all the different IT assets that are loaned to your end users, right? So for instance, if a person has loaned an IT assets, so here this particular loan contains 4 different servers that is being loaned by a particular person, which is named Crowley Fields, right? And these are the sites that this person is associated to. Now you can choose to extend this loan, or you can choose to click on a return option once they return these IT assets to you, right? And you can check out all the loaned IT assets list over here in the loaned asset section. In the loanable asset section, you can check out the different IT assets that are available for loaning, right? So you can allow these IT assets to your end users for loan, right? And you can also choose to mark more IT assets. If you have more IT assets to loan, you can simply select from the existing assets and you can add them over here. And you can capture all the expired IT assets, the loan expiry over in the loan expired assets. That way, you'll be able to completely capture all the IT asset details with the help of the different scanning methods, and you'll be able to manage all the different types of hardware and software assets, and you'll be able to ensure that your software license stays compliant by only assigning the right number of software, and you can further loan your different types of IT assets as well to the end users. And further, last option we have is reports, right? So you can also choose to utilize our reports option, where we have already created hundreds of canned reports. And from this, you can choose to create different asset related reports from the existing canned reports, right? So say if you want to find out all the assets by product type, you can simply click on this option and a report would be generated listing all the different types of assets that are available based on the different types of products, right? So all this report lists all the workstation over here, and that way, so different types of IT assets that are available in your organization can be checked out. So, and if this canned report is not sufficient for you, you can also choose to create different types of reports, such as a custom query, or you can even schedule a report with the help of our reports module. So that way, you'll be able to capture all the necessary information regarding all the IT assets that are available in your client's organization and perform effective IT asset management from the moment your IT asset is scanned to the end, right? So let me do a quick recap. So initially, we saw how you'll be able to effectively deal with all the incoming incident tickets, and how you'll be able to find out the root cause in case if a problem is arised. And then further, we saw how you'll be able to curate the different types of IT services and deliver them effectively to the relevant customer accounts with the help of a customized service catalog. Then we finally saw how you'll be able to implement changes to IT services while minimizing these disruptions and risks, right? And finally, we saw how we were able to track and manage the different IT assets in your client's organization with and throughout their entire life cycle. I'd like to talk about the more resources that are available to you in order if you want to learn more about ServiceDesk Plus MSP, right? So we have our admin guide listed in the resources section in our website. It's www.servicedeskplusmsp.com. There, you'll be able to check out detailed information related to all the different types of modules and features available in the application. Further, you can in the support page, which is the link for which is displayed over here. So in the website, if you go www.servicedeskplusmsp.com, we have a support portal on the right hand side, and you can click on the support option, and you'll be able to find out the links related to release notes, where we add all the new features related information in the release notes. Further, you can also check out the different products related videos related to different types of modules and how you can utilize these different features in ServiceDesk Plus MSP better in the product videos section. And finally, we have something called a Bitsop community where customers such as you, customers and ServiceDesk Plus MSP users such as you come in, join with us, engage in different conversations, and we find and help us improve the services this MSP in a better way. I thank you all for joining today's session. This is Aditya signing off.